guys. So shout out to Mohammed Ghazi. It'll be on the screen right now. You guys could subscribe to him right now. So it'll be on the screen.
Gentlemen, Fortnite creative mode. Now, I've had the privilege to play with this creative mode for the last 3 to 4 days, get used to it so I can make this video for you guys, which is actually how this mode is going to be announced with a bunch of creators that have been flown out for this event. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Alrighty then, welcome to the Fortnite creative lobby screen. Very similar to Battle Royale, but there's a lot of awesome features. The way this is all set up, I can't wait to just show you everything. So I believe the plan for creative mode is that tomorrow we'll actually see the release of creative mode itself. We actually get an exclusive sneak peek with this video here to see everything that's in it. And of course, a big thank you to Epic Games for, flying us out and showing this awesome stuff. The team behind it have done an amazing job. I got to meet all of the devs that worked on it, all amazing people. And I really think this is going to be just as successful, if not more, than Battle Royale itself. Very exciting stuff. Let's get into it, shall we? So first things first, when you hit up play, it's going to come up with an option to join other friend servers. I'm obviously just going to go ahead and create a new one for you guys to show today. And you can change the settings as well, so friends of friends can also join my own server right now. So welcome to the Fortnite creative lobby. This is where you start off every individual time you load up Fortnite creative. We put here in this lobby. So as you can see from a glance, we've got a bunch of rocks around us with some rifts in them. Of course, the one over there, the gold rift, that's going to be my server. And I believe the plan for these featured ones at the front are for maps that are trendy, have a certain game mode. Just, think Minecraft, but Fortnite. Awesome maps. But currently right now, there is nothing featured in either of those. So we're going to go over to my island. So as you approach your own rift, you're greeted with an interact option. Essentially, you can choose one of 4 islands. They're like 4 different saves, I guess you can kind of say, that you can have tied to your account at any time. Today, we're going to be playing on Island 2. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Fortnite creative server. First things first, though, make sure to use code Lachlan in store. First thing I built, actual facts. As you can see, they got some nice little glow to them as well. But anyway, welcome to the rest of the world. We've got a lot to go through. And at first, you're probably hit with a bunch of things off the bat. You can see on the left there, double tap to fly. That's right, we got fly mode in Fortnite creative. Obviously makes sense. You're trying to build a map, you need to fly. It's great. Next thing up that you probably noticed, we've got a phone in our hotbar. It's like that one with the emote, but like it actually now does something. So if I go ahead and select current tiles, you see that it has a grid option. And if I was to say right click, I could pick up that option and move it around to say over, I don't know, here. Like that. I've just moved a piece of concrete. I can also copy it with a left mouse button so that it doesn't get rid of the original piece. And that's pretty much what the phone will do. You can also press X while holding it out and you can delete whatever you've put down already. So this thing here is just a couple of little things I've thrown down. So the next thing up that you probably noticed down the bottom is a memory used bar. Essentially, if that gets to the end, you won't be able to place blocks and stuff like that. This is just to make sure your server doesn't crash. However, if you want to see what happens if you max that bar, make sure to check back later today on the channel or tomorrow. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload it, but essentially we tried to break Fortnite creative mode. And it was a lot of fun. And of course, it goes without saying, if you guys go on to enjoy today's video, already enjoyed it, are excited for Fortnite Creative, make sure to chuck us a like rating down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a lot more Fortnite Creative content on this channel for sure. And so next up, if we open up our inventory, we're greeted with this creative menu. And we have a lot of things called prefabs, and they're essentially pre-built structures from either the game or from Fortnite Creative mode itself that you can use as kind of like a tool to pick from and use for your current build. So for example, we've got a couple of obstacle courses here that you can just use for fun. And then from that, we've got parts of towns that you can use as buildings. So as you can see, we got things from Lucky Landing here, things from Tilted Towers here. Can I get a F in the chat for my factories out there, boys? That's right, there's factories in here. We got the club from yonder. We got, stuff like that, retail row, the shops. And as we scroll down the list, we move over to some prop items. So things from the game that, you can destroy for mats and stuff like that. Trees, for example, signs, cars, all that kind of stuff. And then we've got this here, which is actually new to creative. It's a cube gallery, and essentially it's just a bunch of blocks that have different colors, and some have effects. You saw it on my code Loki sign just before. And yeah, just to give you a quick scroll through of every option available, what you can take, and I'm going to show you just exactly how these things work in just a second. All right, so let's say we want to get some of these cubes out. We want to get some of these trees out. We equip both of them, and it adds it to our inventory. Oh, the sun's going down. So after it puts it into your portafort, oh wow, I wonder where we had that from. Yeah, so think of those mini game portaforts that we had in Playground right now, and you throw it, and it gives you a little preview of what you're going to throw, or at least the dimensions of what it's going to throw. And then that's what we've got, a little cube selecting thing. Now at the current time, we've got 2 animated cubes, a light cube, 3 light cubes actually, some base colors to work with, and some reflective colors. That's kind of cool, actually. I didn't notice that. Now, these cubes are interesting because they are technically a prop. They don't apply to the normal kind of rules that other builds apply to. Like, say, for stairs, for example, it's very 1x1. It has to fit in that 1x1. Props are different. They're like trees, all that kind of stuff. You can pick them up and you just chuck it down there in the middle. It's not restricted to that 1x1, you know, kind of format. And you can do a whole lot with this phone and some props, I'll tell you that much. Hey, you can have a look at the left for all the controls you can do. F to push it away from you, C to pull it in closer. You can actually rotate the piece, so you can rotate it all 3 ways. So clockwise, counterclockwise in either your pitch or roll. It's XYZ values, of course, just like that. And every time you hit tab, it shows you what you've done. And you can also reset the rotation by holding tab and you'll go back to normal. And with the combination of the rotation tool, you can pull off some really cool kind of stuff. You can spam it. You can put it inside of each other, make some cool new objects that way. It's interesting. You can also make it not apply to gravity as well. If you press G, it'll just hang there in the air. Lots of cool stuff can be done just with those properties there. You can make cool parkour maps, hide and seek maps. I can't wait to see what the community does with this Fortnite creative mode, and I can't wait to play the maps. It's going to be an amazing experience, I'm telling you now. And we're definitely not done just there. You can also snap it to a grid. So say if you wanted to make sure that you had these perfectly in place next to each other, you can grid snap it and it will show you the grid number of what it's doing. So right now it's doing 16, 8, 4, 2. So it's just kind of like a spacing method that you can do, just so you can keep the blocks nice and flush with each other so you don't have any gaps or anything. Man, that is a really bright block. That one. So let's show you how this rotation can be used with props that you already know in games. Let's turn grid snap off and let's just rotate it a bunch and just drop one off there. You can just make 1,000 cars. Like, the possibilities are endless. And I know all I did was just rotate a car and spam it 10 times, but I'm not that creative of a person. We've made some awesome maps this weekend, some channel or through some trailer promotions that Epic has done. We had a sick time here at the HQ making some maps. We spent about 8 hours each day making maps for about 4 days. Probably some of the most fun I've had playing Fortnite this year. So Fortnite creative, of course, we got a few more traps than the regular game mode. We've got a lot of things